Okay, we're talking Zuck. What's up with Zuck? The big thing has been his interview on Joe Rogan combined with the change in policy at Facebook to eliminate the third party fact checking service for most things. Now, you would think that people really want to be censored. I think most of us know or know someone who has had something mysteriously removed on Facebook for no good reason, right? No reason that you could easily ascertain, and their fact checking system it kind of stinks. Sometimes it'll show me a window and it'll be like, Dan, we removed you forwarded something and we removed it," and then it'll show me nothing. They'll show me a broken image. So I don't even remember what it was. So how am I supposed to avoid that in the future or even know what it was about the thing that got censored? Wait, Dan, I hear all you people saying, "Oh, you don't have a right to free speech, you dummy. Free speech is not a thing on Facebook and YouTube. You can't just say whatever you want. You're bound by their terms of service." That is true. However, why would you want to have news stories removed? Stories that, mind you, were not deemed factually incorrect, but were deemed not appropriate by the Biden administration. Go ahead and watch the Joe Rogan interview with Zuck. I thought it was pretty good. And his rationale on it was pretty straightforward. And I liked the way he talked about how, it was sort of slow walked in because, like, at first when the pandemic hit, there was a lot of crazy stuff going around, a lot of weird rules, a lot of recommendations from the government. First of all, don't wear masks. They're not going to help you. Suddenly now we all have to wear masks. This caused a lot of confusion. But it was when the administration started pressuring Facebook to take down things that were not factually incorrect. They were just inconvenient. Something pointing out that there may be side effects to the vaccine. What would be wrong with somebody knowing that, assuming it was true, right? I think the problem here is that they were not justifying, or they were not fact checking per se. They were making sure you had the correct opinion, right? That furthered the government's agenda. Does that not scare anyone? Does that not sound like the definition of 1984? Do we really want to have our private or public message boards censored by the government? No, wait, Dan, wait. The first thing I got, the reaction I got was people going, "Oh, okay, Dan, then I'm just going to put up a picture of your face and I'm going to put Dan Shaheen is a PDF file," to use the YouTube parlance. Well, guys, I got news for you. You've just committed slander, right? So we've got laws on the books for that. Or is it libel? I guess in print it's libel. If you say it, it's slander. Either way, we have laws. You can't just make up lies about somebody and try to ruin their reputation. So do we, on the other hand, there could be terms of service and policies that make a lot of sense from a private company's point of view that don't necessarily censor opinions that are not harmful. So do I think people should be able to say the N-word? Well, some people maybe should, right? Like some people can sing it in rap songs or what have you. Do we want racial hate speech? Hate speech is one of those things that is a real slippery slope, because unless there is a direct call to action against a group, it's not hate speech, right? If you have a protected group and you say something derogatory about that group, it might be shitty, it might be wrong to say that, but it's your opinion and you have the right to it. And unless you're saying we need to eradicate those people, then you should be allowed to say it, period. That's where it lands, right? You should be able to say all kinds of things against Palestinians, and they do. That's the thing here, is that this is all selectively enforced depending on which group you're in. And I've never been in favor of that, and I never will be, right? Let's get people's opinions out there. If somebody wants to out themselves as a hateful racist, man, let them do it. The consequences to that will be apparent. Now, some people will embrace them. So many others will reject them. This is the way speech is supposed to work, right? This is why we're supposed to be allowed to have opinions, even and maybe especially unpopular opinions, right? Because as soon as you've got somebody like the government deciding what is the correct opinion you are allowed to have, man, you are setting yourself up for a world of trouble. Even if you agree with that opinion today, under today's leadership, what happens tomorrow when we get a new president, or in the next election, or etc., right? And suddenly opinions are reversed. Suddenly your righteous opinion is no longer en vogue with the current administration. So you're going to be shut down. Does anybody think that's a good idea? It's ridiculous. Now, what else? Zuckerberg himself, I thought, actually came off as pretty level-headed in that interview. The guy's got the whole stealth wealth thing dialed in, right? If you were to look at him, you look at him in that Joe Rogan interview, he just looks like, he's wearing a shirt and he's got a watch. That nothing looks too flashy, no diamonds or anything. They just showed on Facebook, somebody checked out, looked up his watch. His watch cost $900,000. I thought one thing that was very interesting about Facebook is that Zuck managed to maintain full control over his company, right? So his board of directors, unlike most companies, a CEO has to answer to their board of directors, kind of do what they want so that they keep their job as CEO. It doesn't work that way for Facebook. For Facebook, Zuck maintained controlling shares from the very beginning to this day. So his board of directors, including new members like Dana White, are there strictly to just give him advice. And he said he wants the best business people, best entrepreneurs are surrounding him, giving him ideas. That's his right, for sure. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, considering that known reptilian Peter Thiel used to be a member of the Facebook board and left because of the censorship regime, it just shows that Zuck knows which way the winds are blowing. And I think he has fallen in, as he's aged and got more into MMA. He talks a lot about fighting, like he likes to fight. But he actually had a pretty rational, pretty grounded reasons for that too. And I think it makes sense to try and want to be physically fit. But I also think there's something to the fact that probably his testosterone levels change, which can't help but affect the way that you think. And then you're surrounding yourselves with like right-wing style people. Your views are going to start to drift in that direction. Although, as rich as Zuck has always been, came from a very wealthy family, is a billionaire at age 19 and is just one of the richest people in the world and probably always will be, although you never know. Despite all that anyway, Zuck managed to keep his roots. Like, I like him for his kind of hacker ethos. But I think it's inevitable when you get that kind of wealth, especially at that age and having already come from a privileged background, that you're going to be out of touch. There's no way to stay in touch. Like, you could try to be like Elon and get out there and play video games, right? Oh man, that's another great story that broke. of all the things to criticize Elon Musk about, not the sidebar, I love the fact that he is getting so crapped on for like faking his video game prowess in Diablo 4. And that's a delicious thing. Seeing all the Trump and Elon type supporters who backed him so hard in the campaign to get Trump into the White House, and who are now stepping back and saying, oh, maybe these guys were just saying whatever they thought we wanted to hear, right? And I mean we as they, the they we, not the me they, not the me we. Because, I mean, they made so many promises and made so many like implied promises, especially regarding like, oh, Trump as the anti-war guy. Trump really hates war, doesn't he? Well, maybe he didn't start any brand new wars, but he certainly perpetuated violence originating in the in the United States, abroad, drone war expansion, massive expansion of the drone war, assassination of Qasem Soleimani could have plunged us into World War III. The guy is not a peacenik, no matter what you want to say about him. Although I will give him credit for some of his rhetoric in that regards. And unlike most people, I don't think he's an inhuman monster. As a matter of fact, I think he wants to do what his dumb hat says, right? He wants to make America great again, never recognizing that, like, what's the great period we're looking back on that we want to be again? Like, it's gotten steadily a little better and a little better over the centuries, but we're still not there. That's the thing about the United States. It's great. I love this country. But like, we don't all have equality. We never did. We're moving towards it, and that's sort of a North Star for us, right? Like, we're moving in that direction. I don't want to quote whoever Obama quoted here, but like, you know, the arc of history is long but bends towards justice. I would say that is pretty true in case of the United States, but it's very long, and the bend is like not much of a bend over such a long period of time. But now that we have officially unseated mainstream media, television, and even many newspapers, and replaced it with this sort of social media world, or merged in social media to all of that, I think now it's unquestionable that most people are getting their news and information through social media, and that's a powerful force. And do we want to take steps to further censor and even bring in government-approved censorship? I say the answer is no. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you want more or less content censorship on Facebook? I'll just leave it as simple as that. Do you think there's enough right now? Do you think that when they eliminate the third-party fact-checking, which I think is just like imminent, if it hasn't happened already, is that just going to turn Facebook into the new equivalent of X, which people see as leaning very right-wing? I don't know. I'm interested to find out. All I know is just keep speaking the truth. Keep watching media, all media, whether it's social media, mainstream media, independent media. They all have an angle. There is no objective source of truth. There just isn't, right? We live in a world where you have to be keenly aware of not just the message you're hearing, but who is the messenger and what signals are they trying to send with their message. I like to step back from news stories when I read them and say, why did they choose these particular words in this particular order and these set of facts in this order, emphasizing some facts and de-emphasizing others? Like, what's the gist? What's the opinion of the person writing this who's trying to stay objective, but that's actually impossible, right? There is no way to write a news story or make a video about something without your opinion coloring it in some way, even if it's just the inflection of your voice, the facts that you choose to speak of, etc. So, hey, again, please don't forget to click thumbs up on this video if you like it. If you don't, click thumbs down, but leave a comment. Comments are key to our engagement. If you like this stuff, let me know. If you don't, let me know why. And help us out in the algorithms. Like and subscribe too. That really helps. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.